In this lesson, we're going to be looking at the sum and difference identities. They are derived from the law of cosine and distance formula. All right. The first identity is going to be cosine of some angle plus or minus another angle is going to equal cosine of the first angle, cosine of the second angle, and then minus or plus the opposite of whatever sign is inside the parentheses, sine of the first angle, sine of the second angle. And sine of the sine of the sum or difference of two angles is going to be sine of the first angle, cosine of the second angle, and then the same sign of what is inside the parentheses, and then cosine of the first angle, sine of the second angle. Tangent of the sum or difference of two angles is going to be tangent of the first angle, same sign of whatever is in front inside the parentheses, and then tangent of the second angle, all of that over 1, and then the opposite sign of whatever's inside the parentheses, tangent of the first angle, tangent of the second angle. All right, so for the first example, we're trying to find sine of negative 15. I can rewrite negative 15 as 30 minus 45, and then use the difference sign of the difference of two angles. So we would rewrite that as sine of 30 cosine of 45 minus cosine of 30 sine of 45. We know sine of 30 is 1/2. Cosine of 45 is radical 2 over 2. And then cosine of 30 is radical 3 over 2. Sine of 45 is radical 2 over 2. Once we simplify those expressions, on the left side of that expression, we get radical 2 over 4. On the right side, radical 6 over 4. Once we combine the numerators, we get radical 2 minus radical 6 over 4. All right, in this next one, we're going to rewrite each one of those as, we're going to use the difference of sine of the difference of two angles. So sine of A minus alpha minus beta is going to be sine of alpha cosine of beta minus cosine of alpha sine of beta. All right, so in this expression, it's clear that alpha is 3v and beta is negative 2v. So if we go ahead and plug that alpha and beta into the sine alpha minus beta, we get 3v minus negative 2v, which is 5v. And the last type of problem that we're going to go over is justifying that the left side of the equation equals the right side. So we're just going to break it down. So picking up at the second line, cosine of 3 pi over 2 is just 0. So I can replace that with 0. And then sine of 3 pi over 2 is negative 1. And notice to get to that fourth line, 0 times anything is 0, so that first term goes away. And then negative 1 times negative sine is just positive sine theta.